Today's guest is somebody that I've known for what, like 20 years now, right?
At least.
At least 20 years. Because I first met you when Yasu was doing her album
Yep.
and brought you to the studio where we had on Spencer.
Yep.
Yep,
360.
and yep, Project 360. You
Yeah.
and you and I don't know
Lapel.
why I'm forgetting his name.
Me,
Huh?
me, Lapel.
Me and
Lapel.
you and Lapel. Yep. So Chalie Numbas is a producer, a writer, a podcaster, a DJ,
DJ. Yeah.
uh, an
Flash.
artist. That's what I say. I say because that's what I call myself. I call myself
I,
an artist because I do
I
more than just
appreciate
another
that.
thing.
Yes, sir. I
So,
appreciate that. I take it.
like, kind of introduce yourself. Like, how did you get into everything that you do? Because you do a lot, and
Hip hop.
you don't just stay in one spot. You travel the world from Chicago to wherever you are now.
Oh, I'm in Vegas right now. I live in Vegas, but I lived in Toledo for like 20 years. And but I traveled. I worked everywhere else. So I started out hip hop. That's all. I give it all to hip hop because
Yeah.
I started out breakdancing. Then I went to DJing. And I was doing graffiti. I was doing everything in the city of Chicago, man. So shout out to them over there. Um, DJing is my main thing. Music
Okay.
is my main thing. Um, then I branched off. Most DJs branch off into producing or um, songwriting, producing.
Right.
So, but music is the main thing, and helping people, man. Helping people has been my thing, man. So management, of course, I managed. Um, yeah,
Yeah. You when you first told me about you managing, you named a artist that I had no clue who he was. But then after you told me, we looked him up. I'm like, oh, that's who that is. So talk
K9.
about that. Like this is back in maybe like 2007, right?
Yeah,
Or it
yeah,
was in 2000 between 2005 and 2007 when you kind
yeah.
of introduced us to this artist.
Right. That's K9. K9 is a
K9.
Somali rapper, um, songwriter, producer himself. Um, I met K9 through a friend of mine named Razak. People in Toledo know who Razak is. He sings, and I was kind of lightweight managing his career, and he introduced me to one of his Somali brothers, who was K9 at that time, like early 2000, and I did start DJing for K9 first,
Okay.
and then he switched his setup. He changed his set to more like a organic. So he had an acoustic guitar. Shout out to Kiersey. He had a bass djembe. I don't know if you know that big djembe that
Yeah.
they mic up with and it sounds like an 808.
Yep.
It's a guy named Houston Jackson. He's in Toledo. Um, he toured with us, and Razak was the backup singer. So
Wow.
when he changed his show, me, you know me, man. Always on the positive side, always helping people. So he said, I don't care what you do, you got to come out on the road with me. I'm changing the show up, but come on the road. So I didn't even know what that consists of. I had never tour managed or anything like that. And at the time, uh, one of his business managers saw a guy who I think he managed. I want to say KRS One and some more people back in the day, Lauren
Hmm.
Hill, and he was what he had started to do. He had started to do kind of what we're doing now back then in Canada. So he needed somebody to go out with K9. So uh, K9 was like, well, just be the tour manager. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just be the tour manager. So I'm like, I didn't know what that consists of, but I quickly learned
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the bag was there. It
Right.
was a
Right.
bag.
Of course.
Yeah. So and it was travel, and so
Yeah.
with him. K9 is a nomad, bro. And dude hardly ever goes home. He had moved to, K9 came over from
Hmm.
Somalia, excuse me, and landed in Brooklyn. Learned how to speak English listening to Nas.
Wow.
Nas is one
Wow.
of his favorite rappers, and he went on to he got some stuff with Nas, so you can look up K9 and Nas. They got some joints together, and but him and his family landed in Toronto, Canada, Ontario.
Hmm.
So he was living there, and I started to tour manage for him. But he everywhere, bro. I've been everywhere. I've been in 6 out of 7 continents.
Wow.
with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Traveling with him, and that's my little bro, man. So yeah,
That's an amazing experience,
yeah,
especially going from something that you've never done before.
never
And
did.
now you have that experience like in your bag. You have
Yeah,
you had touring experience in your bag just because of that. He gave you that opportunity.
man. And I thank him, man. And I haven't stopped traveling since I met Kanon. You know what I mean? Now they call me the Globe Stroller because
Right.
I'm I've been everywhere, bro. And I just try to find opportunity, man. Like is with this music thing, especially with the music
Hmm.
thing, it's always an opportunity. Opportunity for me to do something. So that's
Right.
what I started doing, man. Just finding the option, the opportunity, and went on from there to like start managing like my niece Miss Fortune, who's in Toledo,
Yeah.
Yada Man, Julian Thomas,
Yep.
um, Batila Fields, and just from there, it's just been it's been great, man. I've had a great time.
That was the lineup that you had when we met.
Yeah,
And we had I had Project 360 Records with
yes,
brother Al and
man,
a couple other people on the label. So we were like pushing music forward. And then also Michael Hayes had
yeah,
his label. So it
yep.
was like we were like
Hey, you was
pushing.
cooking over there, bro. You was cooking over there, man. I said I got to be a part of it. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like as soon as
Yeah.
I meet somebody and I see you had motion, so I'm like, hey, man, let me start paying you, and I start paying you, and you gave me a key, man. You gave us a place because I was doing everything. I always everywhere I moved to.
Yeah.
Anytime me and my wife get a house or something, or I don't care if it's an apartment, I I got this.
Oh
I'm in
yeah.
the space.
Yeah.
You know
All the
what I'm
time.
saying?
Everywhere. Yes.
Yeah, everywhere I go. So, but I was tired of like doing it at the house, and you had everything over there, man. So, yeah,
Yeah.
man, bro, I just gotta say thank you, man, because you helped me out there. And I needed that around there.
That was because we moved it from the actual studio on Spencer to my house,
I came over there.
and that gave you a key to the house.
I came,
Had
sorry.
back
I
door
was like, where
access
you
right
at?
to the
Okay,
back
that's
of the
what I'm coming
studio.
to. Yes,
That was
sir.
nice though. That experience was amazing to me because you had artists coming in and they were so respectful of the house. Like I've
Oh yeah,
never had a situation like that to where I had a studio in the house and then I didn't even notice that it was there because when you were back there, everything was respectful, everything was cleaned up, and it was perfect.
the one thing about me, Jay, man, I so I demand that from my people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Professionalism, respect for other people's stuff, the
Right.
humility. They always
Yes.
and they gonna overthink you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Julian and them,
Right.
they gonna overthink. You gonna be like, all right,
Yeah.
man, but they like,
Right.
hey,
Right.
man, we really appreciate it. It's important, man. It's important. Please and
Yeah.
thank you, bro. Will get you a long way.
Yes,
Please
sir.
and thank you. You
and,
know.
and I learned a lot from you, like a lot from your experiences in music and mixing and producing and production and just period, just being in the studio. Even though
Yes,
I had probably world class equipment,
man. Listen,
but
you
I had to learn how to use it, and I
right?
learned a lot from you.
Yeah,
How
man.
to use the MPC, how to
Yeah,
use
yeah,
how to because
yeah,
I didn't have MPC, I just had the keyboard,
yeah,
so I had to
yeah.
learn
Hey,
how to
but you
use the
had
MPC.
listen, I didn't even know that you was that nice on the keyboard. You had to join on. I was just listening to the Imitation of Life to Yasu's album. You had to join on there.
I had
I'm like,
had a few of them on there.
be my yeah. You did have a couple of them, and
I had like four of them. Yep.
had four joints on there.
I had Why Did That's the one I wrote and produced.
Yo, be myself.
Um, Be
Was
Myself. That's my favorite of all time.
that's my favorite on the album.
Yeah,
Somebody
that's my
else's
favorite.
joint. Even though me and Pell produced, we produced
Right.
like probably 65% of the album, but Be
Yeah, I did.
Myself was my favorite joint on the album.
Be Myself was my favorite. I could not believe it. Like me and Gavin. I don't know if you remember Gavin. That's
I remember
Yasu's.
Gavin. That's his cousin, right?
Yep, yeah, that's her cousin. So we came up with this chord progression. I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. So I just took that and made it into the song. I called that's he's the first person I called. I said, I have this song for you. Like you have to write to this.
Cooking, cooking,
Man.
bro. Yeah, man. And you remind me a lot of myself because you were so well rounded. So when I came in there, you were doing flyers and you was
Yeah,
just doing
man.
everything. But then
Yeah.
you sat down at this keyboard. I mean, I know you would come and watch while we did stuff on the boards.
Yeah, yeah.
Pro Tools and all that. And but you sat down on the keyboard. I'm like, oh, so you holding out?
Yeah, and you know what? That's it's crazy to me that I have all these gifts because when it first started, Al came to me for a flyer for the church. He said, I heard you do flyers. Like I've known Al since high school, but
Shout out.
he was like, I know you do flyers now. Like we need a flyer for the church. I said, okay, cool. But I was just doing it, just to be doing it. I had no business. I just knew how to do it. So we started talking, and then I turned on some music. Like these are some beats that I've been doing. He was like, "Man, what are you doing? Like sitting over here doing
Sitting
this?
on
Like,
it.
right,
Sitting on the
right."
heat.
He was like,
Hey
"Let me
man,
get some of them." So he
I
started.
was really shocked. I was really shocked, bro. You super talented, man. Super talented, and people can learn a lot from you, man. Because I feel like when I meet people like you, I'm pushing people. Hey, go mess with him. You know what I mean? That's what
Right.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really what I do well is connect people with people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
you have always been like I sometimes I watch from afar too. I'm like, damn, what's Jesse doing? I go in and then you got this thing. I'm now seeing the sports podcast too.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, this dude is a natural. But it's the regular. I'm not surprised, bro.
I appreciate that. I really do. I don't know what it is. It's like the artist in me because I can't. I feel like I can't just stay in one spot. I mean, kind of like you with the music and traveling and stuff. I can't just stay and just do music. I have
Yeah,
to use my art in other ways in other places. So podcasting kind of opened that door to me because I'm not a public speaker. I'm not going to be out on the stage,
you'd be
and
surprised though.
I know, right? Somebody told me that though. Somebody told me that, but
Yep.
I've never been that way. But
Right.
having these conversations right here kind of opened up that inner speaker in me
Or
to
when you
allow
when
me
you
to have these conversations.
when not patting myself on the back, bro, but when a person meets me, I Pale call it the jumper cables. I put the jumper cables on.
Mm.
If you tell me you know how to do something, or if I see something in you, hey, you need to be doing this. I remember working with Amanda Mills. We had a pop singer back in the day. I had a
I remember that name.
remember Amanda.
Yep.
Um, Tub, one of my favorite guys, man. Shout out Tub
Yeah.
Frazier. So Tub and also Black Smurf. Those are my guys. But they was sitting in Toledo. And I hate to see people that's so
Yeah.
talented just sit there it's so much talent in Toledo, Ohio, bro.
Yeah.
Just in that
Absolutely.
in Lucas County, in that
Right.
it's crazy. And I used to tell them, like, y'all gotta get out of here, bro. Y'all gotta
Yeah.
put the jumper cables on them, man. Y'all gotta get out of here. And then look what they and
Man.
not that they did it because of me, but I was always pushing them. They'll tell you I was always pushing them to get up out of there.
And
And
they
just
they
not because not to leave the city and abandon the city, but just because there's so much more out there.
broaden your horizons. Yeah. Yeah.
Juice,
Yeah.
look, you see what Juice is doing out in L.A.,
Yeah.
man.
I was out there with
I,
Juice in LA.
I saw you.
And and he told me to bring the camera, and so we're gonna shoot. So I shot with Nelly, with Wiz Khalifa, with all kinds of artists, and even so I went from that to meeting Meta World Peace. I did stuff with his basketball league, Paul Pierce. So
Hey,
it's
listen,
it was just
L.A.
about making connections one piece at a time.
Hey, listen, that's how I got out here, man. Well, not the only way I got out here, but me and my wife was coming out here a lot. And we love the palm trees. I'm from Chicago,
Man,
man, so I'm not used to that backdrop. The
yeah,
mountains and the palm trees. I didn't want to
man,
live in LA,
beautiful.
but I'm close to LA.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
When we went out to LA, me and Yada man, Yada is really cool with Bobby Womack Jr.,
Okay.
right? So we was working on some stuff with Bobby for he was doing a documentary, working on some stuff. So I said, "Damn, out here, let me call Juice." I called Juice. He brings King Los.
Yeah, man.
He brings King
King
Los to the
Los.
studio. That's what I like about LA, though. That's what I like about LA. LA, man, people just introduce you to people. And Juice,
Yeah.
I had bought a house in Louisville, right?
Hmm.
I bought a house in Louisville. Juice calls me and said, "You got to move out here, bro." I said, man, I can't do it. I said, I just bought a house. He said, so what?
So let's talk about when we first met at the studio producing Yasu album. Um, because I looked at the way I did music and what I sounded like, what I thought I sounded like, and what you and Lapel sounded like was totally different to me, because I was more of a gospel type of
Yeah,
that's my sound,
yeah,
and yours was straight R&B. And
yeah,
I wouldn't say I would say like a more of an Erica Badu type of R&B.
right,
And I've never produced with another person before.
right. Which I think is
How,
important to do.
it is now that
Mhm.
I've learned that. How is that? How is the dynamic between you and Lapel, and how did you come together with that sound?
When I met Pell, um, Pell was doing music at Scott. He was, they would do the talent shows and all that,
Yeah.
and Pell was producing all of that music. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I met him, he said, "Yeah, I play." That's all he would say is, "I play." And I tell you, Pell is a killer. He played by ear, and he
Yeah.
just come up with the melodies. But I was always making remixes and everything. I always had drum machines, so I was always making remixes. So
Okay.
he come with the melody, I can come with the percussion and the
Ah.
drums, or
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. So we mesh well like that, and just hearing the sounds as a DJ, man. Just hearing those sounds, just being a DJ. I've been a DJ most of my life, and just hearing music, I know what it's
Yeah.
supposed to sound like. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then we just put our own little flair on it. But here's the thing. This is the thing. Like you said, like you looked at us like, okay, they producing a different way, but we looking at y'all like, damn, wish we had them church chops. Cause man, listen, bro, you
Really?
and Black Smurf, bro. Black Smurf, man.
Yeah,
Shout
man.
out to him, man. Shout out to
Yeah.
Courtney's brother, bro. He taught me a lot. Tub taught me a lot. Tub taught me a lot about actually producing the vocals and things like that. He always told me, he said,
Okay.
whenever you producing vocals, man, always have somebody else in the room. And that's why I said it's important to produce with others. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
important because your ear is different, but somebody else might hear something else. So like you was
Yeah.
doing when you was I was you was looking at us, but we was definitely looking at you because you had it, you got it, bro. So
But that's what changed when Gavin started coming to the studio. When we opened the studio up, first I was at home doing this stuff by myself.
right,
But then when we opened the studio up and Gavin used to come to the studio, that's what happened though. It changed how I heard and looked at music because I used somebody else's ear and said, "Oh, this is what we can do." James Jones came. I don't know if you remember Duke. He used to be
yeah,
with
I know, dude.
Tub.
Yeah, shout
Okay,
out, dude.
so Duke came to the studio a lot too with his bass. And
Yeah,
he was saying, if you do this on top of, I'm like, oh, okay, this Tub used to come to the studio. Courtney used to come to the studio. Juice came to my brother, who's also a musician, come to the studio and say, oh, this is what, and so it changed the way I heard music.
that's right. And
I,
it's
I went,
important,
I
man.
went from a church musician to a producer. That's what changed.
Exactly. It's a difference. There's a
Yep.
difference, man. And I'm more of a producer than a musician. I know a little bit about it all, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I'm not the expert. But I know my way around a drum machine or two. I can get on the keyboard and peck something out. I know how I
Right.
want
Right.
it to sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So that's very important, man. I want to shout out like people like David James too. Dave
Man,
James, man,
that
listen,
guy right there on as a
he's another
producer.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, David
Sticks,
James and I want to say Chris Bishop.
Chris Bishop, and Sticks. Do you know my man Sticks?
Yeah, I know Sticks.
Yeah, Sticks is another one. Like Sticks has always been my MD. Either him or David James. When I had all the rappers in one group called the Glitch, they would come and play. They would come and turn the show, and it just turned it into a real show, man. So I
Yeah,
know what the stuff is supposed to sound like.
right.
I'm that type of producer.
Yeah, yeah, and that's important to have that
Yeah,
because that's what you taught me is to
yeah,
know what you're listening for. Like because I had no clue how to produce an R&B singer because I
yeah.
was producing rap with
Right.
Kelsey and with
Yeah,
Al and the other guys like on
yeah.
the roster. Like it was all rap. So Yasu coming in, I'm like, I really don't know what
Don't
he's
know
doing.
what, but it's the same thing though. When you think about it, it's the same thing because you know what it's supposed to sound like. It's just that you haven't done that before. And then see, right there is where what I'm good. What I feel like I'm good at is okay. So since you don't know that, go get a dude, go get a tub or somebody like. Let me tell you something, man. I just something just came to my mind. So I used to have a store, right, a clothing store, and we used to go to New
Mm-hmm.
York. We used to go to New York all the time. And then when we were shopping Amanda, one time we all took a road trip to New York. When I tell you, Tub Frazier, bro, this is when around the time that Carl Thomas album was out. This
Okay.
dude sang, he did the whole album, and I made him do it twice. The vocals, like he
He.
plays, but his vocals is
Oh, I know.
crazy.
Yes. Yes.
Crazy. And I think that helps with the when it comes to writing songs and producing records, man, because listen, man,
Listen,
Tub is a
there is
monster.
nobody on this earth compared to Tub Frazier.
I I
Calvin
agree.
Frazier is a heck of a genius when it comes to music.
I
There's
agree.
no comparison when it comes to how good he is vocally
Oh
that he
man.
hides and probably don't want people to see. But he
Yeah,
has
yeah,
he has
yeah,
he has music out. People just
yeah.
don't know. He has music out and he's a vocal genius. But
He
along with that,
is.
having the ear to play not just keys, not just the bass, but the drum, and having that all together as a package as a producer, there's no comparison.
No comparison, man. I took my artist, I had an artist I managed named Tanya Isaac, and she was looking for a song and we went to Tubbs' house, sat in Tubbs' house. I swear to you, bro, we banged out a cut in 20 minutes because of him. Because he'll
Wow.
get on there, he'll get on the guitar and start there and play something, and then start singing something. Like I don't have that.
Right,
I
right, right.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't have that, bro. He's a monster, bro.
Yeah,
Monster.
yeah, and that's a well-rounded, all-around producer who can hear, who can sing, and make the bed for the music for you to lay in. So,
I agree. I agree 100%.
so let me ask you, how did you end up in Vegas? Is that because of moving closer to California?
Moving closer to Cali, doing stuff over there, and just you know, I'm 54, man. I'm gonna be double nickels at the
Wow.
end of the year. I'll be 55 in December. Um, health, I don't have any health issues. God,
Right.
I
Knock on
don't
wood.
have any. I've been a vegetarian for like 33 years,
Yeah.
and I just know I've always been in tune with my body. So all the stuff that you seeing online right now about how people are getting into the health and getting into the
Yep.
sun, I always knew these things. So I wanted to move out here. Me and my wife, we love Vegas, man. We wanted to move out here. When people think of Vegas, they think of the Strip.
Right.
It's not all Strip. You know what I mean? It's some
Hmm.
stuff off Strip, but we wound up out here, man, and really want to wind up out of the country for real. We're looking at Thailand and places like that, and
Okay.
I, Morocco,
Yeah.
places
Yeah.
like that. But that's it. Just moving around, bro. Like you said, I move around, man. I keep it moving. You got to
Yeah.
keep it
Yeah.
moving, man, so you don't
I
get
feel it.
stagnant.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
keep it
I
moving.
mean, and I try to do that with things that I do. That's why I change up so much. I went from having the music studio to going into the podcast space and having the number one podcast in Toledo 2 years in a row.
419 grind.
Yeah, man, and that was a vision of mine that came to me. It's like we don't have anything like that in Toledo to highlight local artists, highlight local musicians, highlight local business owners, and those are things that I love to do.
And I
So,
know, and you do it well, brother.
right, well, I
You
appreciate
do
that.
it well.
I appreciate that.
When I
And
first
now,
when I got I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. When I got the idea for my podcast for the Phat Mechanics, is when I came. I think I brought Tila, and I
yep.
came and I'm looking like, hey, this dude done it again. He cooking over here. I'm like, and it inspired me, bro. So just like you say, I inspired you, bro. You inspired me, man.
And you're doing this now. You're in the podcast space.
Yes, sir.
What is Phat Mechanics, and what's the premise behind the podcast?
So, Phat Mechanics, and people ask, why did you name it that? So, Phat Mechanics for me, my dad has been a mechanic. My dad's been a mechanic all my life.
Mm-hmm.
But fat CHAT, you know, is a slang in hip hop. And when
Right.
you had good footwork or when you was doing something dope in breakdancing, they
That's
would say
fat.
you had Phat Mechanics. So
Oh.
it's actually working, your footwork and what you're doing.
Okay.
So in the chop shop, it's basically Phat Mechanics Chop Shop. People come through and we chop it up about the entertainment business. It could be
Yeah.
acting, it could be mostly music, acting. I had a couple actors on there already, and we just talk about. We know it's nothing. We don't talk about nothing raunchy. I don't really care who people smash, and I don't care if you was at the freak parties. I don't care about none
Right.
of that.
Right.
I don't get into none of that. All we get
Yeah.
into is the music and what you're doing. What's working for you. You know what I mean? What are
Right.
your mechanics? You know, because I feel like I feel like nobody's a true expert on any one thing. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Because it's always evolving. You always learning.
Yep.
So I feel like if I can bring people through that to tell their story and tell what they're doing, we can learn from each other. You know what I mean? Like so,
Absolutely.
because I always have people in my inbox. I want to do this, or they'll call me numbers. How do I get into doing this, or how do I start doing this? So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna put it all on the cast. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna put it all on the cast and
Man.
have guests come through. I started with my family, my friends and family that I've been working with for years, purposely,
Hmm.
just so I can get that practice in. Because that wasn't my space either, and
Right.
I'm not the public speaker dude either. When I
Right. Right.
DJ,
Right.
when I'm spinning, I spin. I would need an MC. I'm that type of DJ. I
Okay.
don't really
Okay.
do a lot of talking. Just
Yeah.
like you,
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of talking. I spin and make you dance, but I would need an MC.
Right.
So I wanted to practice first. So that's why I came to Toledo. I've been flying there once or twice a month since January.
Okay.
Recording that. Shout out Craig at 50 Way Studios downtown Toledo. Anybody who need like some space and you need because he's cooking over there too. He's got different setups.
I
He's
see.
got a stage in there. He's doing this thing, man. And that's another thing I've been really on Toledo about because like Tila, she'll want to work with people and they, you know, everybody's, and I tell her sometimes, you know, I feel like people might be just too busy or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but she has problems finding people to help her do stuff and collab on stuff. But that's what I think that the city can do a little bit better of is collabing with each other.
Yeah. You know what it is people feel like you're stepping on their toes. Like for instance, when other people starting their podcast and open a podcast studio, people call me and say or inbox me and say, "Hey, you know somebody else opened a podcast studio." I'm like,
Okay.
"Oh, okay, good for
Congratulations.
them." Yeah, yeah, congratulations. That's a great business to get into right now because everybody's starting podcasts. So yeah,
Right.
good for them. Like I don't have to me, I tell people this all the time. Like I don't have competition. Nobody can compete with me because if somebody wanted to be a producer, they can be a producer. I can go over to being a graphic designer. Oh, if somebody else started a graphic design business. Oh, I can be a photographer. Oh, you do
Yeah.
photography too? Yeah, I do, and
Yeah.
videography. Yeah, now I do
Yeah.
podcasts too. So there's
It
no
can be more than
comparison.
it can be more than one. It can be more than
Exactly.
one in the
Yes.
city. And right, see, I come from a city where, like, okay, just say clothing stores and things like that, because people, you know, they say you got to be careful with your demographics. I come from a place where they'll put the same type of clothing in Chicago. It'll be the same type of clothing store right next door to each other. They
Right.
selling the same stuff. But who's gonna be better? Like it could trickle down to your customer service. Is your customer service
People
better?
have their preferences, and it's up to how you treat your customers.
There you
Because if
go.
you go to New York and you have the Toledo mindset, you're in trouble. If you go to
Yep.
LA and you
L.A.
have the Toledo mindset, you are definitely in trouble
Big trouble.
because there are
Yep.
people doing the same thing on the same block and they have no problem with each other.
You'll see one big building with a bunch of studios in there. But
Exactly.
it's about the to me the customer service and getting in there and doing your thing or what makes you different. You know, what are your
Yeah, yeah.
facilities cleaner than this facility? You know, it's different things.
Or
Like
it could be this. I like the way Numbers sound, the way his sound is. I like his sound, or I like Jesse's sound. That's what it's all about.
that's right, that's right. So I mean, it's to me, and that's any business you get in. I like that what you said too. Like you in competition with yourself, trying to one up yourself. That's
Exactly.
why I say we got a lot in common. That's me. I really don't look around me unless I'm looking to help. I'm looking
Yep,
to be of service. If I can
exactly.
get in to help, like I told you when I first came to 360, I'm like, I could bring some people in here. You know what I
Yep,
mean? Let me pay you a little bit of something, and maybe I could tell some people about it. I'm always trying to help, man. It's not a. It's always from a place of love. It's never from a place of competition for me.
right. Yeah, and same for me. Same for me. I love this. This is why I started the 419 grind to highlight other people who are doing the same thing in business,
I
in
love it.
music, in sports, in entertainment, in anything that anything that can be highlighted. That's why I highlighted other people besides myself. For a long time, people didn't know that was me because I
Mm,
never put my face on it. My face
mm,
wasn't on it, even on 360. A lot of people didn't know it was me because I never wanted to put my face on it because I don't want people to know that it's me.
right.
Because
Which, which,
I'm trying to highlight other people.
that's right. And that's always going. You know, Richard Branson, the dude with Virgin
Yep,
Records and airlines and all that. He always say that. He said that the most successful businesses are businesses that's of service to other people. Not
exactly.
not not yourself. Like if you have service to somebody, you're definitely gonna do well.
Yeah,
You so yeah, man. Shout out to you, bro. You've been doing it alone, and you consistent, man. That's what I like.
I
You
try
can
to be. I mean, there's times, of course, as an artist, you feel down on your like I'm not doing this to the best of my ability, or I could be better. But that's why I always liked about myself is that I'm willing to put in the work to learn. I'm always researching AI, podcasting.
oh
That's why
man,
I found Riverside through research. I use AI with the way I update my website. It's
mm,
just different tools. I've always looking to what's coming up next. I don't want to
right.
be left behind in
You're right,
technology.
right.
I
And
don't.
see, that's I'm a big fan of that too because again, like when people call and they ask how to start this, how to start that. Back then in our day, okay, so when I wanted to start DJing, I was looking at other DJs. Wasn't no Google.
Right. Right.
I couldn't Google it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you wasn't going to parties, you or didn't have a homie that knew a homie, you wouldn't even be in the presence of turntables and things like that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Me and Sid
Yeah.
talked about that on. I brought Sid to the show to the chop shop. He pulled up. And he was saying he from the shop too, and he was saying how we wasn't used to seeing everybody with equipment. Everybody didn't have equipment. So just
Right.
think about how tough it was to start back then. You just had to start. However
Yeah.
you was gonna start. I had to save up for my turntables. Turntables at the time was $700 back
Think
then.
about that though.
A
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
A piece. Then you got to get the mixer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you
Right.
know we got it out the mud for real. Like, and we
Right.
didn't have a lot of people to look at because a lot of the DJs too would tell me. I always tell this story. A prominent DJ. Uh, you'll see him hang. He a producer too. He hangs out with Jazzy Jeff and them. I asked him to teach me how to DJ, and he
Hmm.
said, "You got your own tables?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Nah." I said, "Just
Wow.
flat out, no." I'm like, I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. He like,
Right.
this is something that you got to practice every day, and you can't come
Yeah.
to my crib every day to practice. So until
Wow.
you get your own, I'll teach you if you get your own table. So, but that was just a lesson learned. But I'm just saying it to say, man, you have to really stay ahead of the curve,
Yeah, man.
now you can search things up, man. It's
It,
never been easier, man.
and even with like when we started the studio, me and Al, we had somebody invest $5,000 into buying studio equipment. Now you got to have a laptop, buy a mic for $200, and that's it.
That's the other
Plug
thing.
and play.
That's all
You
you
spend
need.
like you could spend less than $1,000 to have a studio and have studio high quality production.
I hadn't even seen that board until I came to 419 grind. That
Really?
board where you can
Did you?
switch. I
Yeah.
hadn't even. That was my first time seeing that. As much as I stay in tune with the technology. With
Oh, you talking about at the 419 grind?
yeah, 419
Oh,
grind. You
okay.
had that board. You had
Yeah,
that
yeah,
board
yeah.
where you can switch the cameras, and I'm like, how are you doing all of that? There's cameras everywhere. Hey, bro. I mean, I look cool. I looked like I was cool, calm, and cool, but I was like, damn, I was impressed, bro.
This is what this was. This is the switcher, which is
Okay.
obsolete now. Oh, they don't sell it anymore. So these are very rare and very high value.
I think you
This
showed
is
me those. Those. Ooh.
a
You
Slick
don't use them
Studio.
no more?
I don't because when I went to California, I kind of sold everything because I had two of everything. So now
Mm,
it's just I got everything at home. But now like the message I sent you yesterday about
right.
opening up a studio. So I can use this for multi-camera production. When I go out to a concert and have different cameras set up and use up to 10 cameras, filming
Mm.
the production, I can do that with
Hey, don't
with just one switcher.
hey, don't try to start no studio without involving me too, man. I want in.
You on in? You on
I
in?
want I want in, bro. You come on, Jay. You know me, man. I want
with the
in.
with the podcast studio?
Yeah, with that message you sent me.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, we're talking.
I mean, if you in, I mean, as I said, this is going to be something exclusive for people who this is what we're doing.
I'm in.
Okay,
I've been flying out there, bro. Once or twice a month.
and it's and I don't mind going to other people's spaces, but for me, like look at my studio. Look,
I love it.
this is inside my house in the basement. So I mean, I still have everything that I need
Yep.
to do what I need to do. So
Man, I tell you, we got a lot in common, bro. I do the same thing everywhere we go, man. It better not be a house where I ain't got no space. And my wife
right, I
knows
mean, I have to.
if she
I
looking,
have
she knows that she knows you gotta have a space.
right.
Yep.
Right. But I appreciate you taking your time and doing this podcast. Man, it's been a long time. I know we talked in I think it was 2022,
Yeah.
2021 when you came and did the podcast with Tila, but I appreciate you as a person, Chalie Numbas. Like
Thank you, man.
you taught me so much.
Thank you,
Seriously.
brother. I appreciate.
I
Hey, man,
appreciate that.
I'm always of service, man. Anytime you got a question, you need something, man. You know you can call me, bro.
I
Anytime. As
got
soon
you.
as you hit me, that's why. And I've been working on that with my people too, man. I hate. You know what I hate, man? Pet peeve, man. Late responses on the text. Like I'll text somebody text somebody, boy. They text you 2 days later. That drives me
Man,
crazy. And then I
especially when
see.
you like this. I'm doing something. This is for not just for me. This is for us.
And sometimes it could be just for them.
Just for them, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Tila,
absolutely.
man, my sister Tila, I love her, but I text her, boy, and she get back to me 2 days. I'm like, what are you
Uh,
doing? What are you even
right,
doing for real? You ain't that busy, man. Come on.
right, right.
But yeah, Jay, man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely. We got. I mean, I'm sure we have more to talk about, but we could do
Yeah,
that on another episode. But like I said, I'm gonna talk to you about this studio space that
for
we
sure.
definitely need to do,
For sure.
and we go from there.
All right, brother. Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. Good luck going forward. I've been watching the sports show too, man. You be talking, you be talking your talk.
I'll be
Yourself,
trying.
your son, I'm not talking about nobody's basketball team. Usually, me and you go back and forth, but hey, listen, man, the Bulls right now, bro. Oof,
Man, I
terrible
feel bad
season.
for him. I feel bad.
Terrible
I
season.
feel bad for the Bulls ever since Derrick Rose got hurt, and everything just went
That's
downhill.
been it. And then they fired Tibbs. That was it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That
Now
was.
Tibbs is on his way out again. So, like I
Who you
said, I
got?
appreciate
One more
you.
thing. Who you got, man? Who gonna take it?
I don't know, man. It's tough now because my team is out. Celtics are out. So Indiana is looking crazy right now.
Man,
Absolutely insane. And I think the way they're coached by Carlisle, that they can
yeah,
go all the way.
they can. They
I think
can.
it's going to be Indiana and OKC in the finals.
Ooh,
And I got Indiana in 6 over
ooh,
OKC just from
ooh.
coaching because
The
he is
others
coaching the heck out of these Pacers.
and the others, bro. They got a lot of others, man.
They do.
Nemhard,
You know
and
what?
Naismith.
I talked about the Celtics and how deep their bench is, but you come to realize that they're not deep enough.
They wasn't deep
Because when
enough.
Tatum went down, that was it.
Yeah, and then see that, and
Porzingis
that,
is
it
out.
shows. It
It
shows.
shows. When you
That
have
it
Neymar,
and
you have Naismith, all these
it,
other
man.
Pascal, Siakam just went off last night.
Oh man, and then it's really showing on the Knicks too, because like after Brunson and Cat, nobody else is doing nothing, man.
OG is not there all the way. Josh Hart not there. Mikael Bridges,
Dudes,
you know what I'm
dudes
saying?
come off the bench. I didn't see the game, but I said, dang, my son showed me, telling me the score and telling me what happened. I said, nobody else did nothing. I said, well, maybe McBride. I went and looked. He got 5 points. I'm like, that ain't gonna get
I
it
had to go
done,
look at
man.
the box scores too. This morning when I
Man,
got up, I said, "This is no way." I looked at the box scores like, "Oh." Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Hey, man, bro, hit me up. Hey, I definitely want to talk about that other stuff though.
Okay. I got you.
Okay,
Appreciate
man.
your time.
Hey, pleasure, bro.
Yes, sir.